What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another episode of Vlogmadan. So I just finished PT and now I'm in a parking garage because I'm going to be changing oil on the Volvo today and diagnosing it a little bit more. But I forgot my OBD2 scanner, so I'm gonna have to diagnose it at home. So for now, I'm gonna change the oil here because it's raining outside. It's been raining for the past 3 days. And I'm really just trying to get this oil change done because we are currently 1,400 miles overdue for an oil change. So yeah, without further ado, I'm gonna get started with this oil change, and then while I'm doing that, I'm going to be talking about what today's episode is going to be about. So yeah. Alright guys, I still can't get over how beautiful my pack out is. I got all my tools ready and set up. About to do this oil change real quick. And before we do that, I noticed that all 4 of my tires are dead flat. Well, they're not. It's not my car, so I'm not surprised. But after this, I'm going to go fill up the tires because, as you can see, that's flat. But without further ado, I'm going to start the oil change. I'll probably put most of it on time lapse and then do talking while the oil is draining. So yeah. Alright guys, after all of that, I can't even do anything because whoever did this oil change last, I think it was Shell, the gas station shop near my house, they over torqued the oil drain plug. So now I can't loosen it because they over torqued the original bolt. They didn't replace the bolt, so now that bolt is rounded off and I can't even loosen it here because I don't have any of my impacts or my socket removers with rounded off heads. So now I have to go back home, unfortunately, and I'll probably do this another day. But yeah, I'm kind of just annoyed with this whole situation. So I also have to look for I probably have to go to Volvo tomorrow to get an oil drain plug bolt. So yeah, unfortunately we're not doing this today, so probably see you guys at home. So alright, what's up guys? So I've been home for like an hour-ish now. I just been editing the video and I just finished that Arus with all my friends. Now I can't believe I still haven't announced the video yet. I guess I was so focused on being annoyed at the tech that did the last oil change because now I have to get a new bolt. Also did some research on that, found out the Bolt. I'm gonna call Volvo tomorrow morning, but today's video is going to be a controversial topic, pretty much in any time period, but right now it's even more controversial because I mean, I'm pretty sure based on anyone who watches this channel, you know what my answer is. But the topic that we're going to be talking about today is JDM versus Euro and what's better. The question is going to be what's better generally speaking, and also like what's better in today's market. So okay, before I get started with this, the current video's runtime is 4 minutes 29 seconds and 22 milliseconds. So I don't want to ramble on this, but there's a night meet tonight after Tarawih at 10 p.m. It runs from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. I kind of really want to talk about this topic publicly, like with all the people that are at the meet. However, it is a night meet, and despite what all the signs say about no revving and no burnouts, I highly doubt people are going to listen to those suggestions. So I mean, it's like the complete opposite of Cars and Coffee, where it's like a really chill meet and you kind of get to know people and whatnot. But I mean, hopefully I get proven wrong. So I'm making two different versions of this video. First version is the clip that you're most likely going to see after this, which is me giving my 2 cents on the whole JDM versus Euro and what's better generally and in today's market. But I also wanted to make a new style of video where I sort of like go publicly and ask people for their opinions on like controversial car topics and whatnot, and I feel like tonight is a good opportunity to do so. However, if it gets too rowdy, then I probably won't do it. Another reason why it's not that I don't want to do it, I'm sort of hesitant on doing it, is because if I were to upload this second version of this video, I'd be uploading it at like 4 a.m. because the meet ends so late, and then I would want to go to Qiyamul Layl after that because the meet's in Fairfax. So it's a bit much. But either way, even if I don't upload that second version, it's gonna be even if I don't have the opportunity to record the second version, it's whatever. But if I do, I'm going to be uploading it as a secondary video, and then probably also on like YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, and TikTok. But without further ado, let's finally get started on what's better in today's market and in general, JDM or Euro. Let's get started. Okay, first things first, I have a love for both JDM and Euro cars, but I really don't have that deep connection that, like, for example, Alif has to JDM cars. So I'm gonna give it to Euro on this one. There's no one answer saying that it's better than the other, because this topic is very subjective to like what you like, but I have love for both, and it's primarily because I started off with a BMW. I started off with an E30, now I have an E90, and I have many more E chassis and F chassis cars that I would love to build. Also, JDM cars are kind of unattainable right now. Not for the reason that you guys think. They're not unattainable in terms of like scarce, in terms of being like scarce. They're unattainable because people are charging like 8K for an S14 shell. Yeah, shell. So that's just an example of like why I don't want to get into JDM yet. Also, if I were to get into JDM, it has to be rear-wheel drive. And yep, I think that's it for the first. Yeah, I just wanted to say I didn't really have one side, but I'm leaning towards Euro on this one because I'm a BMW boy at heart. But yeah, on to the next subject. Alright guys, now that I have declared the side that I chose, the next question that I'm going to be talking about is which is better generally speaking, JDM or Euro? I'm gonna have to go with JDM on this one. JDM takes the cake, especially if we're going with like 90s JDM cars, because just like off the top of my head, they have the RB25, the RB26, any of the RB models, the SR20, the 1JZ, the 2JZ, I think it's is it the VR38 or something like that? It's one of the Nissan engines. And then there's the I think the SW20 came in the MR2. Oh, the K20 from Honda. Honestly, that's like all I can remember right now. I'm not really like a JDM guy, but like I'm interested, so I kind of keep tabs on things I like. But yeah, just like off the top of my head, all of those engines can like really take a beating and still somewhat be reliable, if that makes sense. So like I know I talk a lot of game about like how BMWs and N54s are reliable. That is true-ish. For the N54 one, that's more like a debate, but BMWs, especially like N52s, they definitely are reliable. However, where BMW sacrificed on is the engine, because they were focused on like making the interior luxurious. So what I mean by that is, if you've seen it at BMW engine bay, you know it's like 60-70% plastic. Whereas if you look at JDM engine bay, all of it is mostly metal, if not for like a plastic engine cover. But I'm pretty sure most of it is metal. Even the valve covers are metal. Everything's metal. So they're really like looking for what is the word? Reliability and like sustainability, especially. I mean, I personally don't know if these engines were built to go high horsepower, but a lot of these engines that I mentioned previously have been high horsepower builds, or currently are, or like there's a whole community behind making these engines high horsepower engines. So yeah, generally speaking, I think JDM takes the cake on what is better, generally speaking. Plus, you don't really spend never mind. You can spend a lot of money on these engines, but I guess from like where you start, you spend less than if you were to buy a BMW engine. We're going off of like prices when these cars were not hyped up, so that's why I'm saying generally speaking. Generally speaking, if like an E46 330i and what else? What is there? S13 were like head to head, it's a lot cheaper to go for the S13 than the E46, because like when these cars were not hyped up, the E46 would be higher priced, but the S13 is going to be a lot lower priced because it's just an old Asian car. But once the hype came in, everyone and their moms drove those prices through the roof. But anyways, that's enough on this question. We're gonna move on to the next question. Okay guys, so I just broke my fast. We will be now continuing the video. The next question we'll talk about is, which is better, Euro or JDM in today's market in 2024? And I'm gonna have to go with Euro on this one, even though like they're both kind of pricey. I just think Euro is better bang for your buck. Like when we go to JDM, like we're not even talking about like they can be project cars, but like for example, if you were to get a you can't even find like a 200,000 mile Honda Civic, whether it be like the EK, EG, the EM1, or any of like the older generation Civics. You can't find any that are like 250k miles for under 3,500. And if you can find them for under 3,500, they are extremely broken, and like you have to do a significant amount of work to get them running again, which is just crazy to me. And another car that I can think about is like Miata's 350Zs, G35s, G37s, what else? Any of the S chassis cars, any of the 240 SXs, 300Zs, MR2s, everything. People are selling their JDM project cars for the idea. They're no longer selling them for the current state that they're in. Like, I've seen a lot of people selling S chassis shells for like 6 to 8K, no engine, just the shell. So that alone just makes me want to go towards Euro, because JDM is just so hype, and I think that's partially due to COVID and hype and TikTok and just like social media in general. Everybody is now like really into the whole JDM scene, and there's like that new Netflix show about F1. I don't know what it's called, I forgot, but there's people getting into F1, and then like people from F1 sort of like going into like the project car scene. So yeah, everyone's just sort of looking for JDM because of their reputation of being like reliable as a first project car, but I wouldn't say any of them are affordable in the sense that you get your money's worth for paying what you're paying. So even when we're talking about Euro, like, it's crazy to me that the E9X platform is cheaper to go to than the 36 or 46 platform. Like, E36s and 46s are slowly dropping in price, but like end of 2023 and beginning of 2024, you could find an E36 325i or 328i for like 7K if it was under 150K miles, which is absolutely ridiculous to me. And I mentioned earlier the E46 330i or 330ci or 330cic. That is the broke man's E46 M3. So the 330i engine, I think it's the M54, I believe, I could be wrong, but that engine alone is what drives the price up. I think I saw one the other day in Bel Air, Maryland. They're selling a 330ci for I think like 7K, and it's at like 200K miles. And granted, I know that owner put in work because it looked really nice, but just the fact that like the mileage is so high, it's kind of pricey. So you're much better off going for, like, if you really want a 36 or a 46 and you're willing to pay like 7-8K, you might as well just save a little bit more money, and you can get yourself an N54 or an N55, either F chassis or E chassis cars. So Euro is better in my opinion in today's current market. I think the best bang for your buck if you're starting off with a project car is buying any N52 platform car, preferably in manual, if you are getting an E chassis, an E60 chassis, because the automatic transmissions are kind of like iffy on that. But in my opinion, in terms of hierarchy, the best bang for your buck you can get in today's market, in terms of Euro cars for a project car, is E9X/E60 5 or 328i, preferably in manual. Then after that, it would be an E9X or F chassis 535 or 335, which is an N55, because they're somewhat more reliable, but they still have their own issues. However, they're still a lot better than the third option, which is an E9X or an E60 535 or 335 N54 engine. The N54 engine has been hailed as the German 2JZ, which, if you guys don't know, the 2JZ is the super engine from the Mark IV, I believe. And people have been really like, the community behind it is really big, so there's a lot of aftermarket support. However, it's really hard to find a stock N54 nowadays that hasn't been ran through or abused. So if you were to get one, unless the previous owner that's selling it has all the maintenance records and everything it's really not worth it to get one unless you really want to just waste money. But I think that's it for this. Sorry if it kind of went on for a really long time. I kind of just wanted to put everything I knew about this topic into this into my answer for this. So moving on to the final and last topic. So yeah. All right, the last and final topic we will be talking about is actually, I don't even know. What was I gonna say? So we talked about which is better, generally speaking, which is better in today's current market, and I guess we can talk about, is there one that's more worth it than the other? That answer is subjective to whatever you prefer more, but in my opinion, I think both JDM and Euro have their strengths, and they both have their weaknesses. So JDM's current weakness right now is it's really hard to find a very clean example of whatever chassis you're planning on looking for that has not been, abused or ran through, and just everything really. It's honestly the whole car market in general. The whole car market is just way too overpriced right now, probably because of last year's inflation and everything and the current economy and whatnot. But Euros also have their fair share of strengths and weaknesses. But in my opinion, if you're going to the project car scene and you want a manual, BMW is really the only way to go, because I personally hate VW/Audi because of the last A4 that I had. Any of the newer A4s, any of the newer Audis, they're so reliable. But anything pre-B7, you might as well just wait, because don't buy one. Unless you find one that has been maintained very well. Anything pre-B7 is just asking for headaches. So, and it's all-wheel drive, so I mean, if you want to, like, for example, drift your car or take it to the track and do something that's real drive oriented, you really can only choose BMW at this point. So another thing, I would like people to stop buying BMWs, because I really want to pursue a lot of other projects. However, because JDMs are so expensive, BMWs are flying through the roof in terms of price, because people are looking for a rear-wheel drive platform, but they can't find one, and then they figure out BMW is actually really good, and most of what's said about it is sort of speculation and not true. So yeah, BMWs are not reliable at all, so please stop buying them. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today's video. I will probably show clips of the meet later tonight in tomorrow's video, and we'll see if I get to make the public opinion video or not. It just depends on how rowdy it gets. But hope everyone enjoyed today's video. I sort of have a tendency of rambling on, so if I did, I'm sorry, but I really wanted to make like a good quality video for somebody who, I guess, is looking right now for a car and don't know which way to go. So yeah, without further ado, that's going to be it for today's video. It's been your boy. Don't forget, nothing's impossible. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.